We human beings are amazing creatures. We are a product of years and years, thousands of years of evolution and experience. From the time we were hunter-gatherers roaming in the jungles. There was an interesting experiment that they did, and they were testing the intensity of emotion to two situations. You're walking on the road and you suddenly find a $100 note, and in another situation you're walking and then you suddenly realize you lost an $100 note and you don't have it. Now the happiness in the first case and the disappointment in the second case, and when they measured the intensity of reaction, they found that in the loss frame the intensity was much higher than the happiness you got when you got a 100 rupee note lying on the floor. Now this obviously has a lot to do with your past and stuff like that, but that's the fact, that's how we are. They did some more experiments. They created an situation where you had to take a bet, and they asked a sample set of people to take a bet. So you had 50% chance of winning the bet, and if you won you get $150, and you had 50% chance of losing the bet, and if you lost you got $100. Now mathematically you should be taking this bet every time, but almost everyone started thinking rationally, and the loss averse mindset is so strong in us humans that they didn't take that bet. Now this is how it is for whatever reasons of the past, how we are. Now how can we marketeers take advantage of this? We have been focusing all the while, look at the advertisements you get on TV and everywhere. It's pleasant, it's nice, it's all in what we call as the gain frame. Would we be more effective if we just turned it around to make it loss frame? Okay, and I'm not talking of negative advertising. Negative advertising is bad, where so you look at trying faults with the competition and bring it. No, I'm not talking of that. I'm talking of that. Let's take an example. Okay, if you see these ads where you're going to work and stuff like that, this man comes and suddenly he has a bad sprain, and then they bring this, show the balm and say you apply this balm and get back to work, and this guy is so happy. If you just made a small change in the messaging at the end, you showed all this and then said apply this balm and avoid loss of work days, won't it be more powerful, going by the research that we talked about earlier? Moving a thing from a gain frame to a loss frame, where you are just saying you can avoid something instead of saying what you gain because you do one action. Say, for example, during the peak of COVID, you had a lot of these guys coming with pills which supposedly boosted your immune system. What are their messaging? You take this and improve your immune system. Can we just change the messaging at the end and say do this and avoid falling sick? So just moved into a loss frame, but the impact from what we know would be much higher on the viewer than by the gain frame. Mentally it does that. Or in this year-end season, there are a lot of people offering you discount. Now if suppose instead of saying okay, this percentage discount you get now, if suppose you bring in that element of loss and say look, If by tomorrow evening you are not able to take advantage of the offer, you lose this discount. So instead of showing this as a positive gain, you are showing it as a loss avoidance thing if you don't do it by tomorrow. The impact is mentally huge. We don't realize, because as human beings we react more stronger to messages which are talking of avoiding loss than messages which talk about making gains. What do you think?